I have been talking to Senior, and we both agree that that's the fight we want next. That's the fight we want next, and it's so easy to make. It's not a hard decision. Boots is there. Boots is available. Vergil's available. October is a perfect month to make that fight happen.
Robert Garcia reveals that Vergil Ortiz Jr. and Jaron "Boots" Ennis are on track for a blockbuster October fight, with both camps fully committed. Garcia indicates that negotiations for a fight between Ortiz and Ennis are progressing in the right direction. He insists Ortiz is ready, expressing confidence that the matchup can move forward without the need for another fight beforehand.
Senior, my team, and everybody else. So that is very true. I'm gonna tell you guys, it is very true. The fight is very close. Eric Gomez, Vergil Sr., Rick Morigan, they all came to me, asked me what I think about the fight. I said, let's do it. There's no need to wait for that fight. There's no need to get a fight before.
Adding to that, Garcia insists Ortiz is ready to move straight into a fight with Ennis and remains confident there is no need for an interim bout. He also makes it clear that, from Ortiz's side, there are no obstacles to making the fight and believes the decision now rests with the opposing camp.
We're just active. We're just busy. You know, we don't need to get a fight before that. The fight will happen. The only thing that could stop the fight is if Boots decides not to fight. But the fight on our side, I was the one that like I told you guys, Eric Gomez, Senior, Rick, I said, let's do it. There's no question, there's no doubt that we win this fight. So we're on our side, it's a done deal.
Mike Coppinger reports that Ortiz's team is actively pushing to finalize a fight with Ennis. He notes that discussions between the key parties are ongoing, reflecting a strong desire to get the matchup across the line. While he remains uncertain about the exact timeline, Coppinger makes it clear that the interest in making the fight.
NFL running back.
From the promotional side, Eddie Hearn confirms that a fight between Ennis and Ortiz remains a priority, but notes that Ennis's world title has opened the door to major unification opportunities. Even so, Hearn insists the Ortiz fight is still firmly on the table if the right deal can be reached.
I love the Vergil Ortiz fight. I've seen people saying, I was surprised that, we're not going to fight again until November, December, right? So I was surprised that Vergil will go straight into that. I'm glad he will, by the way. But also, things have changed slightly in the respect of we are now the champion. Now, I'm not trying to be difficult, but that's not even about our percentage of what we should be getting in that fight. That's more about the other belts. So Boots now has a plan to become undisputed in the division. You've got Josh Kelly fights July 25th, but you've also got Sebastian Fundora, which is a massive fight. So, we're going to sit down with Boots. He's going to call the shots. He wants to fight Vergil Ortiz. I want to make that fight. The Zone want to make that fight. So, but everyone's like, it's just on me to make the offer. It's like, well, why aren't you fighting? Well, you can make an offer if you want. You've got this incredible offer for Boots, who's now a pound-for-pound top 10, who's now the #1 in the 154-pound division. So, we'll have those conversations, and we'll see what Boots wants to do, because he's earned that right.
With momentum continuing to build, Showbiz the Adult believes Ennis and Ortiz are moving closer to a showdown. He suggests the matchup has become the clear direction for both sides, reflecting growing interest from everyone involved. In his view, all signs now point toward one of the division's most anticipated fights finally coming together.
All right, today, listen, man, I think we're getting enough right now to say that Boots versus Ortiz in September looks like that's going to be the plans. All right, if not September, October. After that, it seems as though Boots versus Ortiz is next. We're going to have to talk about that and all the reasons that is. And honestly, the Zone, War Room, they've been wanting that fight for, they're like, you gotta have that.
Showbiz the Adult believes the latest developments have shifted the spotlight onto Ennis's camp. He suggests Ortiz's team has made its intentions clear, leaving the focus on how the negotiations progress from the other side.
He says it's up to Boots. Listen, check this out. Vergil Ortiz was Boots was the problem. He ducked first. I'm sorry, Boots. You my guy. But I really feel like you ducked first. I think Vergil Ortiz ducked the second time. Sorry, Vergil Ortiz. I thought you ducked the second time. All right? But now, so you have that situation with Oscar, Rick Meridian, which we're going to talk about. But now they said that they're all good on their side. it's a go on their side. Now it's up to Boots. Boots had that whole I'm the money man talk. Everybody go through me. He's unified champion. Definitely Vergil Ortiz want to be champion. So now they stands up, especially after you saw some vulnerability in Boots against Ennis when he got rocked. Was that the third round?
An analyst suggests Ortiz's camp is becoming increasingly eager to finalize a fight with Ennis. He believes recent developments have reinforced their determination to make the matchup happen, making the negotiations even more compelling.
Now it's being reported that Vergil has signed his portion of the contract for a showdown, right? According to well-renowned trainer, former world champion, future Hall of Famer, Robert Garcia, right? And that's the fight that they want, they're pursuing. And I said that in the video I did the other day, that they see a hole, right? They see vulnerability in Jaron Ennis after Jaron Ennis fought Xander Zayas, and he got clipped in the third round. After he got clipped in the third round, you had Vergil come out, and Vergil stated, he said, I'm putting him to sleep, right? He's like, I'm putting him to sleep. That gave him the confidence he needed that he could knock out Jaron.
Turning from negotiations to the fight itself, Robert Garcia highlights Ortiz's punching power as one of the biggest factors in a potential clash with Ennis. He expects Ortiz's power to remain an important weapon capable of changing the momentum at any stage of the fight.
Vergil hits him like that, he ain't getting up. And I guarantee you guys, everybody, he ain't getting up. So,
looking at the matchup from a different perspective, Greg Hackett views Ennis as the fighter to beat in the division. He credits Ennis's versatility, athleticism, and ability to adapt in different situations as the qualities that separate him from the rest of the field. Even with difficult tests against fighters like Ortiz or Fundora, Hackett expects Ennis to find a way to come out on top.
I think he is the guy to beat those guys. He's a very talented fighter, very versatile fighter. And he's an athlete. People take that out of the equation. A lot of guys we see when they climb the ranks, you check their background and they've always been boxers. So it's like the creative aspect isn't as wide compared to a guy who's a pure athlete who, played multiple sports growing up, still, funds around hobbies with multiple sports. Those guys that are like pure athletes, they tend to be better overall fighters, in my opinion.
Do you think at this point he's going to have to move up multiple weight classes to have a challenge? Or is, Fundora and Vergil a guys that could potentially beat him?
Those will be challenges, but I think those are challenges where he will come out victorious.
Taking that argument further, Aki argues that Ennis possesses a combination of qualities rarely found in a single fighter. He explains that Ennis has the ring IQ to control a bout from the outside, while remaining confident enough to take calculated risks in pursuit of a decisive finish. In Aki's view, that balance between discipline and ambition is what makes Ennis such a difficult puzzle for any opponent.
You know what I'm saying? But you got a guy that's the blend of both worlds in Boots, who's exciting as fuck, a knockout artist, can do the dazzling shit like Roy Jones used to do, but also has that skill level of a Dre Ward and a Shakur who can sweep you if he felt like it. If he felt like to stand on his jab that whole fight against Zayas, it would have been an easier performance for him, as far as he wouldn't have got in no danger whatsoever, but people would have criticized him for being boring. If he'd have just stuck with the jab, the 1-2, let the knockout come or don't, go 12 rounds, get his hand raised maybe, or get robbed like De La Hoya did against Trinidad because you let it go to the judges in the first place, or you can go out and get it. He went out and got it. I don't give a fuck what happened to you going out and get it. I know you're going to get hit trying to hit. That's what happened.
Even so, Coach Breadman urges patience before drawing conclusions about Ennis following his latest performance. He suggests it is too early to determine whether the defensive lapses were an isolated incident or could become a recurring issue. In his view, it will take more fights to establish whether those concerns are significant.
People that may not like Boots or be fans of Boots, they want to overcompensate, like, oh my God, it's defense. Okay. And then you got the people who are like in love with Boots and they don't see anything wrong, like, oh man, that was just nothing. The proper context is let's just wait and see. We don't know. We don't know what it was. For Boots, I think we gotta just be fair. Let's just wait to see. Let's wait to see if it was a one-time thing, or every once in a while thing, or a thing like, oh man, well he's gonna get wobbled and hurt and be in these wars constantly. We gotta see. I can't give you the answer to that. As far as how he's gonna look after his prime.
Similarly, Chris Algieri believes Ennis will need to tighten his defensive discipline as the level of opposition continues to rise. He notes that mistakes against proven punchers like Ortiz or Fundora could carry far greater consequences, making technical adjustments a key part of Ennis's preparation. Even so, Algieri expects those challenges to produce some of the most compelling fights of Ennis's career.
You know, what happens if that is a Fundora, if that is a Vergil Ortiz when he's taking that fire?
You know, I had a lot of people ask me, like, well, how do you see, Ennis with those guys? I'm like, listen, if he gets hit the way he did in round 3 as he did with Xander, those guys are completely different punchers. So that could be a different kind of result. But you also got to think a guy who's as good as he is and as dynamic as he is, will he fight the same way if he has more danger coming his way? Which we saw that at 147. 147, he might get hit. The guys couldn't hurt him. So now he's at 54. Guys are punching much differently, and then he's even talked about going up to 68 eventually. That's where he sees himself ultimately capping out. So yeah, the defense has got to step up. Best fighters in the world don't get hit cleanly and more than once at a time. So if he's going to make those adjustments with those guys, I think that's something they're gonna attack during camp. Being able to do it on Fight Night Under the Lights is another thing, but at the end of the day, like I said, it's going to be exciting.
From another perspective, Danny Garcia believes Ortiz's style naturally suits Ennis's strengths inside the ring. He suggests Ennis thrives against opponents who are willing to engage, giving him opportunities to capitalize on his timing and adaptability. At the same time, Garcia expects Ortiz's relentless mentality to ensure the fight remains competitive from start to finish.
Vergil is that's Boots style. He likes when people come to him. You can use all his tricks. It's not gonna be nothing. He don't have to figure nothing out. It's gonna be right in front of him. But Ortiz is a warrior, so he's gonna be like Xander, he's gonna fight to the end.
The panel is divided on how a fight between Ennis and Ortiz would unfold. While some believe Ennis has the versatility to outbox Ortiz if he sticks to a disciplined game plan, others question whether Ortiz's relentless pressure would allow him to keep the fight at that range. Their discussion highlights the tactical uncertainty that makes this one of boxing's most intriguing potential matchup.
But when you go to the handness, it's like a reality.
Building on that point, the panel agrees that Ortiz has already proven he belongs among the division's elite, but believes defeating Ennis would require another level of performance. They argue that Ennis presents a challenge unlike any Ortiz has faced, while recognizing the opportunity such a victory would create. Those high stakes only add to the intrigue surrounding the matchup.
You know what?
Not everyone agrees with the criticism surrounding Ennis. Greg Hackett pushes back against the idea that Ennis is avoiding a showdown with Ortiz. He believes the recent criticism has created a misleading narrative and insists it should not change how the matchup is viewed. For Hackett, Ennis remains well positioned if the fight is eventually made.
Vergil and his whole team is full of shit. They full of shit. I'm gonna tell you why. Because that fight was supposed to happen before the kid Xander got in there, right? Now, they see him go up in there with Xander and him so-called be hurt in the 3rd round, and now everybody sees something. I guess y'all didn't see the part where the guy, got beat to submission in the 7th round. Here's the thing, though. Xander's a better fighter than Vergil. Vergil's easy. Vergil's gonna get his ass beat bad. I'm telling you, Boots is gonna torture him. Because you know why? It's not even because of the styles. It's because all the shit you did in Texas. You act like he was gonna fight me, and then you got out the ring and you said that Earl Spence was your dream fight. He's full of shit. Boots is gonna crush him, bro. I'm telling you. It's gonna get bad for I hope that fight happens. Vergil is gonna get a rude awakening. It's gonna get bad for Vergil.
Johnny Ortiz questions the consistency of Ortiz's recent stance on a fight with Ennis. He argues that the discussion has become filled with conflicting messages, making it harder to separate genuine intentions from public perception. In his view, the focus should now shift to making the fight rather than continuing the ongoing debate.
Oh yeah, watching Xander
dissing Xander and Boots. Oh yeah, I would put Boots to sleep. Man, shut the fuck up. You could. The first thing when he stepped to you, yeah, I'm about to fight Errol Spence. I'm about to fight. I don't know. I'd rather fight Errol Spence. That's a dream fight. And you disrespectful to Errol Spence too, because he's supposed to be from Dallas, and that's quote unquote hating. And you pussy because you making all excuses and all that. When you was active, it was, oh yeah, he don't want to fight. Oh, then it comes in, now you making excuses. Now it's like, when you know you're going through your little legal issues, that's what you should be fighting. He's over here saying that, he's over here talking like he want to get active, man. We don't want to hear that.
Taking that confidence a step further, Greg Hackett remains convinced that Ortiz would face a difficult test against Ennis. He argues that previous performances against common opponents reinforce his opinion and leave him with little doubt about how the contest would unfold. For Hackett, those comparisons only strengthen his confidence in Ennis's chances.
Didn't Boachuk beat Vergil ass, like getting his, like whoop his ass? And didn't Brandon Adams beat Boachuk ass twice? Come on, man, stop playing. He gonna beat, listen.
Shane Mosley knocked out Boachuk.
That's what I'm trying to say. And Vergil had the hardest time in the world with him. Listen, Boots is going to torture Vergil.
The analyst gives Ennis a slight edge based on his athleticism and overall versatility inside the ring. He believes those attributes could create difficult tactical problems for Ortiz over the course of the fight. Even so, he maintains that Ortiz possesses the qualities to make it a highly competitive contest, which is why the matchup remains one of the most intriguing in the division.
I think Jaron Ennis is more explosive. I think Jaron Ennis is more athletic, right? I just think that Jaron Ennis has all the tools that is going to give Vergil Ortiz trouble. That's just my belief, right? Vergil is very powerful, very consistent, but he's very vanilla. He's very technical. He's a good counterpuncher, but he's very vanilla. Jaron Ennis has a 4-inch arm reach advantage. They're both 5'10". But when he fought Israel Madrimov and Serhat Boachuk, right, he went the distance with those fighters for a reason. Because of their styles. But again, this is a great, great fight. And Vergil does stand a chance to win this fight. It's being reported, as you see, that it's almost a done deal. They're just waiting for Jaron Ennis to sign on.
At the same time, Gabriel Rosado acknowledges that Ennis brings several advantages into a potential fight with Ortiz. Even so, he believes Ortiz's determination and mental resilience would prevent him from backing down when the pressure intensifies. For Rosado, that mentality is what keeps the matchup so compelling.
Vergil Ortiz, he throws short, precise hooks and uppercuts in the pocket. He's twitchy. He's fast, he's mean, and the Boots is kind of like a little lackadaisical sometimes, and Vergil Ortiz keeps his hands up. I think Boots would beat Vergil Ortiz, but I do see some instances where Vergil Ortiz can maybe beat Boots to the punch if Boots, according to him, he says, well, he gets a little lazy. Sometimes you'll hear his dad say, stop playing, Boots. You know, like that's their own language. Vergil Ortiz can get off a little bit at the point of attack.
Turning to the tactical side of the matchup, Coach Breadman gives Ennis the edge but believes Ortiz has the qualities to make the fight highly competitive. He points to Ortiz's compact offense, sharp timing, and disciplined fundamentals as attributes that could create opportunities during key exchanges. In his view, success may come down to which fighter is better able to capitalize on those moments.
I like Boots to use his jab more against Vergil, and I think that fight goes a little bit longer. And I think that Vergil really doesn't have really long arms. He's about, they say he's 5'10", but he's more like about 5'9". Doesn't really have long arms, but he throws some murder hooks and uppercuts, but he keeps his hands up and in. I think Boots will have an advantage with him with being able to jab him. But you know how Boots is. Boots is going to start mixing it up with him at some point and believe that he's the big dog in the fight, which he could be. You know what I mean? But we would have to see. I will pick Boots to beat Vergil, but I think he will have to be a little bit more careful with the exchanges. but I think he knocked.
Expanding on that approach, Coach Breadman believes Ennis can gain a tactical edge by establishing his jab early against Ortiz. He suggests that doing so would help control the distance and limit Ortiz's opportunities to work inside. At the same time, he expects Ennis to engage more as the fight progresses, making discipline during the exchanges essential. Managing that balance could be a key factor in the outcome.